Well, now, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, cashew is Nigeria's third largest agricultural export after sesame seeds and cocoa beans. And in the first quarter of 2021, the crop fetched the country 13.71 billion naira. If we are to go by the research and market, the world's largest market research store, the global cashew kernel market is expected to grow from $5.394 billion in 2019 to $6.932 billion in 2025 at a compound annual growth rate of 4.27%. Now, to speak on strengthening the economic value of Nigeria's cashew market is the national president, Cashew Association of Nigeria, Ojo Joseph Ajanaku. He joins us via Zoom from Benin in Edo State, to be specific, Auchi. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you've heard the background. What is the current market value of cashew?
The current market value for cashew is not stable, it varies, but currently, because of drop in quality, the price is 600,000 naira now, Lagos price, call it ex Lagos. But in the international price, it's still ranging for $1,100, that range. But in the peak of the season, when the crop was, when the quality of cashew was of the standard, of the national standard that they actually want, it was selling for $1,345 dollars. But in Lagos, they sell as high as 650, 670.
With those figures you've reeled out, it seems there is fluctuation in the gains. Are we lagging behind? Are we making progress? If we are lagging behind, what are the challenges and what do you think can be done to ensure there is a step up in this all important commodity that is a huge revenue earner?
From I would say we are lagging behind in the sense that there is so much to be done in this cashew sector, like you just enumerate in your analysis. Cashew can actually give Nigeria a lot of foreign earning if it's given adequate consideration and is being attended to. We don't have national policy framework for cashew, which is a lot of setback to us in this industry, because cashew is majorly an international trade market, being that we don't consume much of the cashew in Nigeria, so it has to go on export. If you're interested to know, Nigeria is the sixth largest cashew producing nation in the world, Ivory Coast topping. But we have the cashew in Nigeria, and it can be produced all over the country. But currently, it's only 22 states that's actually producing a cashew in Nigeria. But with the land, with the vast land we have in the northern part of the country, because we have experimented the growth of cashew in the northern part of the country, KB is taking a very good step now, and also Jigawa is taking a very good step in production of cashew. But what we actually need here is government to consciously come into cashew production and processing in Nigeria. We are lagging behind because there is no framework and no international profit-oriented, business-minded person who want to come into a country where there is no policy framework for the product.
So, what is the gestation period like? Because it's actually gladdening to hear that 22 states are currently producing it, but it can actually be produced everywhere in this country. And with the huge advantage to actually growing it, can we actually know how long it takes for a cashew tree to mature to production and for how long a tree can keep producing?
Yeah, it takes the old crops that we have in the country, because that were brought in from Brazil. It takes 3 years for the cashew tree to start fruiting. But for the new improved seedlings, which we have received from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the gestation period we are expecting is 1.5 year to 2 years to start fruiting. And the good thing about cashew is it takes 1.5 years or 2 years to get the crop to fruit, but the tree can be alive for 50 years. And so that is the advantage in cashew. If you are able to grow it to fruiting, it lasts you for 50 years minimum.
Wow, that's good to know. Now, the minister and your association is clamoring for a ban on imported cashew nuts. Do we have what it takes to actually process this commodity in country and give it the kind of value that is needed to that exportable state?
Yeah, there is a lot of potential when you talk about exporting cashew nut. But we are actually not too much interested in exporting the raw cashew nut because analysis have it, statistic has it that for every 1,000 tons of cashew, you are exporting a raw cashew nut, you are exporting out of this country, we are losing almost 2,000 jobs. 2,000 employees are losing their jobs in Nigeria. And so it's like we are exporting our job labor to other countries. So we are encouraging processing of the raw cashew nut. Take Vietnam, for instance, they process about 1.5 million tons of cashew. That is what is giving them a lot of revenue generation in that country. And Nigeria has the potential to actually process this cashew. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture has in the past promised to build about 3 processing mill in the country, of which never saw the light of the day, but we are still working on it to see how we can get it. But we are also not relenting as an association. We are carrying on sensitizations and workshops all over the country, trying to sensitize people about the potential in cashew. And Nigerians are taking interest. Some other foreign investors who are in the country are taking interest in building a processing mill in Nigeria. This year alone, we have had 3 processing mill has been commissioned in this country. And if we continue in this trend, we believe that in the nearest future, we'll be having a lot of processors in Nigeria. Currently, we are still processing less than 15% of the total output of our production in Nigeria. And with the seedlings we have given out last year and this year, if they start fruiting, we expect the production to go high. And we are also looking for investors to see how we can get those cashew that we are producing in the country to be processed here before exporting it.
Okay, I understand there is a national conference, more like saying it's a national emergency to get these investors to come on board. What decisions will you be taking at this particular event? Or are you just going to be ruling out the advantages and also the investment opportunities for investors to come in? And why are investors not here yet? 3 processing plants in the country is highly minimal.
Yeah, the reason is let me talk about the conference that is coming to Nigeria. We have African Cashew Alliance is the one of the biggest association in Africa that has to do with cashew. And the event, this is the 16th event that is coming to Nigeria. We've had 15 editions of it all over Africa as a nation, but it has not come to Nigeria. This is the first time it's coming to Nigeria. We earlier actually scheduled for National Cashew Conference to be held around August, but when we had the opportunity of having this, of hosting the Africa Cashew Alliance Conference, the 16th one in September here in Nigeria, yeah, we jumped at it because it has become one of the biggest events in cashew that brings about all players in the sector. We talk about the farmers, talk about the processors, talk about the traders all over the world converge. It harmonized the sector. And we are believing, we have confidence that in hosting this conference in Nigeria, it will harmonize the sector and it will also attract investors, both local and international investors. And again, it will help us also to influence policy making for the sector in Nigeria.
Wow, thank you so very much, Ojo Joseph Ajanaku, for sharing your thoughts with us at this particular point in time. And just to remind you, we will be following up to see what happens to such an investment opportunity that we are looking forward to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.